Hello, my name is Kevin, and this is my review of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Okay, so if you remember at the end of the third movie at World's End, Will Turner becomes the new captain of the Flying Dutchman. Well, his son, Henry, he's out to go find a way to free his father from his curse. And he finds out that in order to free him, he needs the Trident of Poseidon. Meanwhile, there is a young woman who is an astronomer named Karina who is trying to fulfill her father, who she's never met, wishes of, or duty, destiny, whatever, of finding the trident also because, he has this, like, he gave her this Galileo's diary or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Some astronomy diary so that she can use it to find it, I guess, in the stars. Something like that. But anyway, because she's, a scientist and a woman in, like, the 1700s, people think that she's a witch, so she's on the run. And that's when she runs into Jack Sparrow, old wily Jack. And he is in trouble too because he's being hunted down by yet another crew of undead sailors. Not pirates. These ones aren't pirates, they're pirate hunters. But whatever, another crew of undead people who he screwed over, and now they want to kill him. So that's happening for the fourth time in this series. And his only hope is also the Trident of Poseidon. So all three of these characters, they want to look for this trident, so that's what they're doing. They're going to go look for it, but meanwhile, this, this cursed undead pirate hunter named Salazar, he's free from this prison thing. And he's free from the Devil's Triangle or something like that, and so now he's able to go hunt Jack down, but will Jack be able to get the trident, or will he die? Well, you probably know what's going to happen there. So, what did I think about this movie? The thing is with these pirate movies, you just gotta roll with them at this point. Like, you just gotta go into it with the attitude of just roll with whatever they got. Like, just say, oh, that's a thing in this movies? Sure, why not? Like, oh, we have these in these movies? Okay, sure, why not? I mean, in the third movie, a woman turned 60 feet tall and then into a bunch of crabs, into like 1,000 crabs. It's like, whatever, it's just, where do you go at that point? It's just like, how does it, it's not gonna get, what can you possibly throw at me? Like, it's not gonna get any weirder than that. It's not gonna get any weirder. It's like, whatever. Sure, why not? I don't care. Like, why not? You know what? Just, whatever. Let's just have fun. Let's just have adventures. Whatever. I don't care what mythos you're creating for this. Just, sure, why not? That's a thing? Okay, cool. Mermaids? Alright. Fountain of Youth? Okay. Trident of Poseidon? Why not? Ghost pirate hunters? Okay. So, what's the good in this movie? Well, like pretty much all the other pirate movies, there's a bunch of, like, fun little action sequences that are wacky and kooky and crazy and like, ooh. And, so that's really interesting. They're pretty cool to see in 3D, so if you can see it in 3D, I'd recommend that. Also, Depp's, his Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, he's funny as usual. He's Jack Sparrow, if you liked him in all the other movies, you'll like him in this one, and maybe if you're tired of him, well, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, okay, let's talk Javier Bardem as Capitan Salazar. Okay, I like this character. I think that he did a great job as this character. He's this, like, kind of a bit crazy, kind of a bit obsessed, guy who's cursed, and now he's like a ghost. They're not zombies. I should clarify that. These undead pirate hunters, they're not zombies, they're ghosts. And I kind of like the way how they're, animated or designed. Like, some of them are, like, missing, like, entire pieces of their body, but they're just, like, floating. Like, I think one of them is just, like, a floating arms and legs. Like, In fact, I think one of them is just a pair of floating arms, and, like, that's really cool how they do that. And, like, and they always move like they're underwater. Like, they can, like, his hair is, like, constantly flowing like it's underwater. And that kind of makes sense, because, you know, he dies underwater, so... And I like that. I like the way I like that design choice. And, no, they don't fly, but they can walk on water, so I guess that's something. And they can walk through walls, too, so... But these ghost pirate hunters, they kind of fall under, like, the same category as, like, the American Horror Story ghosts, where they can pretty much do whatever they want and, like, kill whoever they want, but you can't kill them. Which, you know, is kind of unfair, I always thought. But, oh, they have one weakness, but, like, you know, if you can't use that weakness, then you're screwed. I like the ghost sharks. The ghost sharks are cool. I love the ghost sharks. I just wish they were in the movie for longer than one scene. I really do. I wish they were in it for longer. You know, I love me some sharks. You know, I can't wait for that 47 Meters Down movie, but, you know, that's for another day. Love me some ghosts, love me some sharks, ghost sharks. Woohoo! But no, we don't get to see the ghost sharks that often. Instead, we have ghost seagulls. Which, that kind of makes me think, does everything in the Devil's Triangle, does everything that die in the Devil's Triangle get cursed to become a ghost? Because in that case, why don't all of the ships that they kill become the ghosts? Why doesn't all the ships that the ghosts kill, you know, in the triangle, why don't they become cursed too? Like, shouldn't they be? Like, in the beginning of the movie, like he kills a whole, like, you know, Navy ship. You know, except for the main character, except for the son, except for Henry. Like, he kills the whole ship, the whole crew. Like, are they all cursed now, too? Are they all ghosts, or not? Are they just dead? Like, I don't really understand. It kind of doesn't really make sense. Because, like, apparently all those seagulls are cursed, too, because I guess they died in there. I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Whatever. It's... Again, it's like with these movies. You just go, whatever. You know what? Sure. Let's just... Whatever. You know, if that's your mythos. I'm just roll with it. I'm gonna just roll with it. Oh, yeah, and here's another thing. Okay, so Salazar really, really hates pirates. Like, he freaking, like, even before he was cursed, like, he's, like, had, like, this long history of, like, you know, his father was killed by pirates, and his father before him was, so, like, he really has this, like, vendetta against pirates. He wants to rid the world of them, so... Okay, so, yeah, we get it. You hate pirates, but, why are you killing Navy ships, too? They hate pirates, too. Like, you guys are on the same side. You're both hunting pirates. Why are you killing them? I don't know, I guess he just kills whoever. He's just like,
But you can't curse in a Disney film, mate.
Alright, I guess that's all the good parts, you know. It's like, if you love the fun action sequences of the other movies, you'll like the fun, crazy action sequences of this one. Okay, so let's go with the bad now. The bad. Okay, so even though Salazar, I like him as a new character, the other new characters are just kinda meh. Like, the son, he's just meh. The astronomer girl, she's just meh. You know, I want to like these characters. I especially wanted to like the astronomer girl, because, you know, we haven't really seen that kind of character in these movies yet. We haven't seen that kind of character in these movies. So, you know, I was kind of looking forward to that, but I was also kind of afraid that I wouldn't like her. I was just kind of afraid that, like, they would do her wrong. Because, you know, she's kind of carrying a whole gender in this movie, practically. Being the only woman in the cast. But she is she's different, she's definitely different than Elizabeth. She's a scientist, so, you know, and she's ahead of her time, and, you know, that's kind of an interesting idea. I like that idea of a character, but, you know, she just kind of fell flat. She just kind of fell short. She just fell short of me liking her. I didn't dislike her, she just kind of just fell short of that. And I don't think it's the actress's fault. No offense to the actress. I don't think it's her fault. I really think it's the script. I think it was the, you know, the story, maybe even the editing. I don't know, but I don't think it was her fault. Because because I do like, you know, some of the scenes that I do like some of her acting performances. Like, for example, like she has this banter with Jack in the beginning of the movie, where like they're both about to be executed, but like, you know, they're both like having an argument over like who has it worse or something like that. Like they have this banter, and like the audience watching them is like going like, like the crowd below them. I like how she's a bit more cynical than Elizabeth was. Like she's ready to just throw down and like, you know, let someone die for her. Like she's just like she's ready to call out bluffs. She's just like, you know what? Just kill the bloody pirate. I don't care. Or she actually flips off the ghosts at one point. You don't see it. They don't show you her flipping it off, you know, because it's a Disney movie. It's PG-13. But like she sticks her hand in like some like stream of water that they're in. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to see the movie and know the climax in order to know what I'm talking about. But anyway, basically she flips them off. That's the point. And I think that's kind of amusing. But I just barely liked her. You know, I wish I could have liked her more, but I just kind of didn't. And then for the son, he was okay, but like he wasn't really that great. Again, not entirely the actor's fault. I know this actor, I've seen him in other things, and I know he's a good actor. But I don't know. I just kind of like just thought he was just kind of meh, okay. And it's like, here's the thing. These characters, the two of them, on paper, they sound really great. Like, you know, you have this young woman who's a scientist who's, you know, basically raised herself and has lived on her own her whole life, and she's so ahead of her time that everyone's afraid of her or doesn't understand her or is confused, and she has to, like, put up with everyone else's idiocy. Like, okay, you have that, but then you also have this, young man who is obsessed with myths and curses and all this stuff, because, you know, because his father is cursed and he wants to free him. So, which makes sense. And the two of them, you know, they also kind of are in conflicts with each other over their beliefs, you know, because, like, you know, she's a woman of science, he's a man of myths, so, you know, so they, you know, conflict with each other. And they do have kind of nice chemistry in this movie. They have kind of nice chemistry. It's definitely better than Finnick and that mermaid in the fourth movie. I'll tell you that right now. It's definitely better than those two. But it's just, again, just like the characters themselves, it's just kind of okay. Like, you know, it's kind of amusing. You're like, oh, all right. You know what? I dig it. Okay, sure. Oh yeah, Keira Knightley. Wow. You were in this movie for literally less than 5 seconds. Yeah, you've probably seen her in one of the trailers or the teaser trailers. Yeah, whatever footage you saw her in there, that's all she is in the movie. That's her entire running time. Like, Will's not in the movie that much either, but he's definitely in it more than she is. Like, like, you know, he keeps on emphasizing how much, like, you know, about, like, they keep on, like, bringing up how he's, like, Will's son. It's like, you know, he's Elizabeth's son, too. Well, actually, no. At one point, he does mention that he's the son of Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann, which implies that Elizabeth never changed her name, which, you know, good for her, you know. Good for her. You know, for the time. I mean, that's good for her. Well, what am I saying? This is a movie about freaking mermaids and krakens and stuff. Like, women not changing their names when they get married. It's like, why? It's like, again, it's like, why not? Okay, hang on. There's one thing I forgot to mention in the good part. Okay, there's this one scene that I really liked. I liked how, when Henry first introduces himself to Jack, you know, and he brings up that he's Will and Elizabeth's son, Jack's response is so funny. He's basically like, ew, you're the evil spawn of those two. I just think that's funny, because that's probably a lot of the audience members' reactions, too. So, I thought that was funny. That was a bit amusing. I think they definitely played up the humor a bit more in this movie. Although maybe that's just because I'm not remembering the other movies being as funny, but they probably were, and I just don't remember. But if they didn't, well, then I guess this one is a bit funnier than the other ones. Like, or plays up the humor. I shouldn't say it's funnier, because, like, not all the jokes land, but some of them do. But they play a lot. Okay, also, Paul McCartney just has like a random cameo in this movie as Jack's uncle Jack. So yeah, so now there's 3 characters in this movie named Jack. There's Jack Sparrow, Jack the Monkey, and Uncle Jack. And he really doesn't serve any purpose to the story or plot at all. He's just kind of there at one point just to be like, oh hey, want to hear a joke about a skeleton in a bar? Like, that's pretty much it. That's, like, his role was just entirely pointless, other than to be like, hey, we got Paul McCartney to be in this movie. It's like, that's it. That's his purpose. Okay, now, one of my main problems with this movie is that there's a lot of tell and not enough show, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of things that apparently happened in between movies that would have been interesting to see, but apparently not. Like, Barbossa, yeah, I probably should have mentioned, he's also in this movie, but, you know, if you've seen any of the posters or trailers, you probably already knew that. But, so Barbossa, he, apparently saved this witch, but she's a real witch, not, like, a fake witch. Like, she's a, like, not, like, an accused witch like Karina was. Like, she's an actual witch. And, like, he, like, made a deal with her, and he saved her, and so he has... But, like, why couldn't we see that? Why do we have to tell that, like, in backstory? Why'd that happen? All that have to happen off screen, like... And, like, the expositions, too. Like, Karina's exposition, it's all told to you, like, flat out, as the second you meet her. The second you see her on screen, even before you see her on screen, like, they flat out just tell you her origin story. Like, her exposition. Like, they just straight up tell it to you. They don't show you anything. They don't, you know, fill in the blanks for you to guess, except for, you know, like, who her father is and stuff. But other than that, they just flat out tell you everything about her right then and there. Show don't tell is often, you know, used, but you know what? You could also show and tell, maybe, or show or tell, you know, every now and then. Not too much exposition, but, like, just, you know, give us credit here. Like, you know, make us kind of figure some things out. Like, oh yeah, and also, when it's revealed who her father is, because it is revealed that, but then it's like, when they reveal who her father is, it's like, well, how are we supposed to know that? You gave us no hints about that in this earlier on in this movie or any of the other movies. You've had 4 other movies to try to, you know, to hint about this or give us clues, but you didn't. And I'm just gonna enter spoilers for like 1 minute or so, whatever. Just click here. Just go to this part if you don't want spoilers. Okay, so her father is Barbossa. Yep, so you knew it was going to be one of the other characters introduced in the movie, and that was one of the other characters that's already established. Her father had to have been one of the other characters in the movies, and it's Barbossa, but it's like, when did Barbossa ever show signs of being into astronomy, or meeting a woman, or possibly having a child? Like, when was the possibility of Barbossa having a child ever brought up in any of the other movies? And even then, you know, I don't really care about that. Actually, I mostly care about his interest in astronomy, because suddenly he has one. Just like, all of a sudden. Like, not even earlier on in this movie, but like, when we find out that he's Karina's father. When we find that out, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, he suddenly has this tattoo of this, like, you know, this like, you know, star map on his arm, and it's like, well, you were in this franchise for 3 movies, and the ending of 1. You had plenty of time to establish that you were into astronomy. You had plenty of time to establish that this character loved astronomy and was, you know, into it and wanted to seek out the, you know, Poseidon's trident or whatever. You had plenty of time to, you know, give us that, and you didn't. You didn't tell us that. Or maybe you did and I just missed it. I don't know. But I don't remember any of that. I don't remember in any of the other movies him being into astronomy. I don't remember that. Or horology or whatever. Like, or any kind of science, really. Oh yeah. And some of you probably have a few unanswered questions regarding the last movie. Whatever happened to the missionary and the mermaid? What happened to Angelica? I don't know. They never addressed that. They straight up act like those parts of the movie never happened. The other parts, like Barbossa getting Blackbeard's sword and Jack getting the Black Pearl in a shrunken in a bottle, that's in there. But everything else is just, I don't know. Like, we're just not gonna address that. I mean, maybe they will in the next movie. Maybe they won't, because there is going to be a next movie. So I should give everyone fair warning. There is a post-credit scene at the end of this movie. So, you know, if you want to see that, stick around to the end of the credits. Not the middle of the credits, not after, like, the main title credit. You know what I mean? Just, it's at the very end of the credits. So overall, you know, it's like what I said early on in this review. You know, you can't really judge the pirate movies too harshly, because it's just, like, they're kind of all like this, really. They really are. I mean, I know some people like some of them more than others, but really they're all like this. I mean, maybe the first one is probably the best. Maybe just because it has the simplest plot. Pirates want to free themselves from a curse. Like, that's it. You know, maybe it is, but, you know, with all things considered, that this whole franchise is based on an amusement park ride, I'd say, you know, it could be worse. It could be worse. So I give this movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, out of a rating system of bad, okay, good, and great. I feel like I have no choice but to just give it an okay, because, you know, that's just the way these movies are. They're okay, you know. If you want to have fun and see them, you know, but you want to turn your brain off a bit and just grab some popcorn, because, you know, it's a good popcorn movie. Just, you know, turn your brain off. Don't think about logic. Don't think about reason. Just enjoy the silly antics. To enjoy, you know, the drunk guy spinning around in a guillotine where it's almost chopping his head off. Just watch that. Watch him fighting a living masthead or whatever. Fight that. Watch that. Watch the pratfalls and all that craziness. Watch all that. If you like the other Pirates movies, you like this one. You know, if you're tired of the franchise, hey, I get it. You know, we're 5 movies in, it's like, I get it. If you're tired of it, I get it. So, I think that's all I gotta say about the pirate movies, so, I mean, I think that's all I gotta say about this movie, so, see you guys next time for my review of, Baywatch. Okay, well, bye.